Our topic tonight, our topic tonight, how Homo ignoramus caused his own extinction. We invite you to call in and give us your opinion, wherever you are in the world. 909-383-8000, 909-383-9000. Have a question or a comment? Get on the line. Give us a call. Call the reformer and tell us what's on your mind regarding climate change. There are rules for the callers. They're simple rules. All of us can easily obey them. Be rational. Use reason and verifiable facts. Please, no vile or vulgar language, no personal attacks, or you will go bye-bye. All around the world, human beings are being human. Wherever I go, I can find common dialogue with people. Like Paul Simon says, it's the myth of fingerprints, speaking metaphorically, of course. I've seen them all, and they are all the same. We're all in the same boat. We're all in the same planet Earth, spaceship Earth. We all suffer when climate change comes about. So let's talk about how Homo ignoramus. That has nothing to do with homosexual. Homo is a species that we all belong to. We are Homo sapiens. But now it seems that some of us have devolved into Homo ignoramus. We don't believe in science, some of us. Science, it's bunk. We don't believe in climate change, even though the vast majority of scientists in the world tell us that we're pumping CO2 into the atmosphere, and that is causing the climate to change, causing colder colds, hotter hots. How is it where you are? Is it very hot today? There's a heat wave over the Midwest. Is it very cold, unseasonably cold today? Is there a lot of rain that seems to constantly rain and rain and rain more and more? Those are atmospheric rivers caused by climate change. Is it freezing where you are when it shouldn't be? Or is it very summery when it shouldn't be? How about the polar bears in Alaska that are coming in emaciated, skinny polar bears? Why? Because they can't catch their prey. The icebergs are gone. They can't catch the penguin. They can't catch the occasional fish. They're dying. You want to see a polar bear? Better go to the zoo. You want to take that cruise up to Alaska to see them? You're contributing to global warming. Don't take the cruise. The polar bears don't want to see you. You want to see them, nice, cuddly little. Think about it twice. So, how is that Homo ignoramus? How are we destroying our planet? Well, there's a lot of ways. Some of the ways is our lifestyle. We want to have the big car, the big powerful car, pump out that power. That's what ICE engines do, internal combustion engines. ICE cars do that. So as long as we continue to do that and don't continue to switch to electric vehicles or more fuel efficient vehicles, we'll continue to kill ourselves. So every time you start up that Dodge Demon in the driveway or your 5.0 Mustang or any kind of ICE car, you're contributing to your grandchildren's demise. Isn't that nice? let them ride in the back seat and hear your car screech. But when you get an EV, there's no gas, there's no oil. You plug it in at your house. You save thousands in gas. You're going to have a very efficient, high torque vehicle. The Ford Mustang EV will do 0 to 60 in 3.5 stock. Man, the torque on those is great. You will be happy that you got one. Go test drive one. Or with some of the more expensive EVs too. All cars, basically in America, starting at around 50 grand today. American cars. That's where you can step into the Ford Mustang EV. I bought one. Man, am I happy. I haven't looked back. So, basically you rotate the tires, change the washer fluid. Cost me $22 at my 30,000 mile check. Sweet deal. You have to have a specially trained mechanic to be able to do it. It requires a little electronic tweaking, but man, you're going to love your EV. Why don't you? Some of you might think that there's, no climate change out there right now. I say, I don't feel the difference. It's like an analogy that's been made. Some people talk about boiling a frog. You take a frog, you throw him in a pot of boiling water, man, that frog's right out of there. He's no fool. But you put him in cold water and you bring that water to a boil, and he tolerates it little by little. He says, this is not much different. This is nice. I mean, I don't know what's going on in the frog's head. But he'll boil where he would jump out if it hit right away. We're the same way. Little changes, incremental changes. They don't seem to bother us. So we deny climate change. Whose interest is that in? Certainly not ours, in my not so humble opinion. It's in the interests of large corporate interests, oil interests, uh, other interests. You know who? There's no oil shortage in America. You know who pumps the most oil in the world? Either pumps or fracks. Dum, 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 da, da. Guess who? The United States. We even export oil now. There's no oil shortage. We don't need to pump, baby, pump. Because if we do, the price of oil will go down. The big corporations don't want that. We've opened up under the current administration all these oil leases at giveaway prices. Who's buying the oil leases? Nobody. Because the more you pump, the greater the amount of oil, the lower the price. Oil is called a fungible substance. It has a price all around the world. You can check the price of a barrel of sweet crude today, and it's a complete economic mess. We don't need more oil. All this climate change has begun since the late 19th century when the United States realized it had oil reserves. Many of you may have seen the pretty cool movie, There Must Be Blood. It's about an oil wildcatter who opens up a whole lot of wells and makes a whole lot of money. And while it has very little to do with climate change, it shows you the ruthlessness of the oil companies. Congress now has proposals in front of it, the big, beautiful bill, that want to encourage that, but they're backing off on that because the oil producing states realizing it's their ox getting gored with some of those. Our grandchildren are going to pay for our excesses today. Our grandchildren are going to be saddled right now, if that bill goes through, with 3 times the debt that we have today. And they're going to live on a vastly changed earth and climate change. Have you apologized to your grandchildren for murdering their future? I have. It's a stark reality. Don't be like that frog. It's a reality. The climate is changing, whether you like it or not, whether you want to acknowledge you feel it or not. Forest fires, the town of Paradise decimated, other towns, Los Angeles, decimated, Malibu, decimated by fire. All of us know this. What's causing this? This is not normal. This is the new aberration. Please, people, let's stop it before it's too late. It may be too late now, but does that mean we don't try? If your house is on fire, you don't go out and get a hose or call the fire department. You just say, I give up. No, I'm not backing down. I'm not giving up. The reformer is going to keep trying to stop this. Some other things that are going on. And by the way, I invite you to call in 383 area code 383 8000, area code 909 383 9000. Give us a call. You know the rules. Please give us your questions, your comments. I don't care what it is. We'll have a dialogue. We'll have a respectful dialogue and talk about it. Maybe you have something to contribute. Oh, we have so many problems. You know, the United States credit rating has been downgraded. Used to be the highest credit rating on earth, AAA plus plus plus. We sell treasury bonds, which is owning the United States. It's a guaranteed payment. There is nothing finer than a U.S. treasury bond. They've been downgraded. What does that mean? That means that the buyer demands more interest. That's our national debt. We have to pay more interest. Well, we won't, but our grandchildren will. And who's the biggest holder? Jeopardy theme? Who's the biggest holder of United States Treasury bills? Russia? Mom and pop Americans? Or China? Time's up. China. So we're paying them more money. They're our greatest economic competitor, but they know where to invest, and they're happy as clams that our credit rating has been downgraded because they're going to earn more when they cash in those treasury bonds. Even our economic rivals understand that the best investment in the world is America. But how to take us really for a ride? Continue polluting the earth, continue downgrading treasury bonds, continue the interest rates on them. That's how. Somebody's making America grovel again. Oh, we never groveled before, I shouldn't say again. But now we're groveling to economic interests. Who's putting us in that position? You have a vote, you have a mind, you have the ability to rationally think. Those things aren't right. They're just not right. We have the power. This is a democracy, the last time I looked. We have the power to stop this. Educate yourselves. Talk to your legislators. Demand rational answers. And vote. Register and vote. Go to Walmart, a great store, a great store. It's where America shops because they put mom and pop out of business, and now mom and pop are the greeters at the door, and their kids are stocking the shelves and manning the cash registers until they get more automatic cash registers in. But I saw a sign the other night, they're offering $19 an hour in one state for night stalkers. That's not bad. That's not bad. I don't know what benefits they get, but 19 bucks an hour, you know, almost a living wage for one person in some states, not a living wage in California. Look up living wage, by the way. It's what it costs for one person to support themselves, or two persons, or three. See what your living wage ought to be. But you go to Walmart, you're going to find that iPhone and iWatch there, made in China. What else is made in China? Your Beats headphones, clothing, kitchen gadgets of all kinds. Everything virtually except fresh produce is made in China, comes from China or somewhere overseas. And what's China taking from us? Well, all kinds of money. But they also grow almonds in California. They own the land, they own the almond trees. They've cut out the American middleman. Almonds are a thirsty crop. They use a extraordinary amount of water. But the Chinese are taking our water through almonds, and we're sitting back and just allowing them to do it. In the south of the United States, the Saudi Arabians are growing alfalfa and hay, ostensibly to feed their beautiful Arabian horses and their cattle and their sheep. No pork, no pork. They're basically hijacking water in the form of alfalfa and hay, using it for their purposes, cutting us out of the profit. They have desalination like nobody else in the world in Saudi Arabia, yet they need more and more water, and they're getting it from us. Is that fair? I don't know. Are they an honest broker? Going back to 9/11, those of you who remember the date, or those of you who have heard of it, 9/11, 2000, was it 2000, 2001? Who was in those airplanes that brought down the World Center? That's two of them. One of them that hit the Pentagon, that's three. And the fourth one that the brave passengers crashed into the ground, knowing that they would die, but to save the rest of us. Who hijacked those aircraft with box cutters, had learned to fly in the United States? Who did that? They were all Saudi citizens. We misunderstand the world so much from our view. We completely misunderstand. Not to get too far into religion, and everybody's entitled to their religion. You can look at the different sects of Islam. Start with Wahhabism, which is the Wahhabi sect, which is the Saudis. Look at the Shia, which are the Iranians. Look at the Sunni, who are largely in Iraq. There are 7 major sects of Islam, just like there's Protestants, Catholics, Mormons, all kind of different sects of Christians. We used to joke in my church that God loved Christians best. He made so many different kinds of us. Now, all religions have schisms, And so does Islam. I'm not going to denigrate Islam at all. I'm not going to denigrate Christianity. I'm not going to denigrate any religion or agnostic or atheism. You believe what you care to believe. But who's on our side and who's not? Why did we President Bush attack Iraq after September 11th? There weren't Iraqis on that aircraft, but there were Saudis, 21 Saudis. Hmm. The United States sounds like the gang that couldn't shoot straight. We attacked the wrong guy. And did it stop anything? Did it stop Al Qaeda? Not really. By the way, Osama bin Laden, a Saudi, wealthy Saudi, came from a construction company family. Contemplate that. We've got a terrible situation. We have oil mixed up with religion. Oil was the old driver of economies. And as it fades, the geopolitical situation fades. You know, the Saudis now pump a fraction of what they did a few years ago because the United States is the biggest exporter and producer of oil in the world. We have so much that we can export it. Oil is called a fungible substance. That means you can take your barrel of oil here and sell it. You can take your barrel of oil there and sell it. It's good all over the world, just like gold, just like silver, just like any commodity. They're fungible. Corn, soybean, all of those things. It's all about the supply and demand for those things. The more demand there is, the higher the price. The more supply, the lower the price. Very simple. Economics at its core, supply and demand. You got it, I want it. We settle on a fair market price, a willing seller to a willing buyer. I don't know of any major religion that does not call for us to be good stewards of the earth. All the major religions call for us to be good stewards of the earth, and very few of us are. I don't know. For those of you who are God fearing, either Christians, Muslims, Jews, the command is the same in all the Abrahamic religions, and as well as in the Eastern religions, Hinduism, um, Baha'i, all the religions. Be a good steward of the earth. Take care of what we have. Eh, some of us don't follow it. If I sound like I'm ranting, I am. If I sound like I'm raving, I'm not. I am not personally a scientist. My training is in law, but I depend on scientists to give me their opinion. In 1999, the Sierra Club set as its major goal the stop of climate change. But still, so many little factions depend upon saving their critters instead of getting into the big picture. So now other organizations like the Center for Biological Diversity are kind of taking the lead. We have a situation, my friends, that I hope we can solve. What's your opinion? Have a question, have a comment, call in and call us at 909 area code 909 8000, area code 909 9000. Any question, any comment. I don't care what your question or comment is, as long as it's respectful, rational, reasonable. Let's have a dialogue about it. We've got a heck of a situation here in the world. We've got climate change that is going to kill, if not my generation, us old guys, old ladies, but our grandchildren. I know you love your grandchildren. I know your grandchildren are just like mine, the smartest, brightest, happiest little children in the world, aren't they? Or your kids, if you're from a younger generation like my son and stepkids. Don't you enjoy bouncing the little tykes on your knee? Don't you enjoy raising them happy, healthy? Watch them take their first steps. Listen to them utter their first word. Don't you enjoy that first day that you send them off to school and they come back? You know, they leave crying sometimes. But when they come back, they say, "Oh, teacher's so nice. Listen to my ABCs. I can count to 9, Daddy. Mommy, I can read." What do we have except our future and our families? There's nothing else in the world except, you know, that any of you would kill if anybody tried to harm your grandchildren. Boy, you'd be on them. You'd be standing your ground. You'd be pulling those weapons. You'd use a baseball bat, your bare teeth, and bare hands to protect their lives from any kind of harm. But the climate is changing. And what are many of us doing? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. We're sitting boiling frog like a bunch of ignorant amphibians, Homo ignoramus. Are you Homo ignoramus? Do you doubt what I'm saying? Prove me wrong. I'm willing to hear your science. I'm willing to hear your silly belief. Anything. Prove 99.9% of the scientists involved in climate study are wrong when they say that human cause is changing the climate of our planet. Elon wants to go to Mars, and we'll have a new planet. We won't have to worry about this one. Hey, Elon, jump on the first Falcon 9. Go right for it. Get up there with your satellites and keep on going. Have a nice trip. Richest man in the world. Elon, I got a sign for you. You come on over and talk to me. Don't bring your ketamine with you either. Don't bring your racism. We don't need Afrikaans racists in America. They don't want to be here. Yeah, let me not get off on Mr. Musk. Now, some people, like the scripture says, for the love of money is the root of all evil. And it is easier for a camel to get through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to achieve heaven. All about the Benjamins, or in their case, I don't know, I guess the Benjamins is the highest denomination we make. I can't imagine a guy with billions of dollars. Man, what I would do with billions of dollars, I would do what Bill and Melinda Gates have done. They're giving it all away. They're wiping out malaria in the world. They're saving human lives, and they intend to spend all their money except a very small amount that they're going to leave. They're setting up foundations. Thank you, Mr. Gates. And also thank you to Warren Buffett. Hathaway, Berkshire Hathaway, excuse me. I wish I could afford one share. He's giving all of his away. Give it away. Thank you, Warren Buffett. Thank you. Thank you very much. He's going to give untold billions to benefit those of us who are not as fortunate, as smart, as wise as he. Thank you very much, Mr. Buffett. I appreciate it. By the way, if you'd like to subscribe and buy an ad to my show, give me a call at area code 909-303-8000, 909-383-9000. Same goes for you, Bill Gates. Ads for sale. I'm sure you can afford it. I'd be happy to plug your show and have your participation. And by the way, any other advertisers out there, if you're interested in getting your message out to the world, this is the place. It doesn't cost a whole lot. You can buy a little, you can buy a lot. I guarantee you're going to get some results because this show is going somewhere. We have something to say, we have something to prove, and we won't back down. It might surprise you to know that it costs a little money to rise this endeavor. I would appreciate some support. How about you Democrats? How about you Republicans that are interested in climate change? How about you independents? You know, you can pay for educational information and you can do it legally. You design the educational ad, we'll put it on. We'll get your message out there. I'll take ads from anybody with the possible exception of Satan himself to get this message out there. If your dog wants to put an ad on, your cat wants to put an ad on, not a problem. If you're a nonprofit, that's fine. If you're already a subscriber to other advertising, you know, NBC, ABC, Fox, National Public Broadcasting, here's a good place to spend your ad dollars. It's cheaper than any of them, and we have worldwide participation. Okay, enough plug, enough sales. I'll stop. So, what are we going to do about pollution? What can you do to stop this? Okay, I've outlined the problem for you. Now I'm going to come with some things that you can do. One, you can get involved. You can call your local environmental advocate organization and join and participate. Two, you can go before your local boards, your city council, your county supervisors, your school boards, and you can tell them, start to follow LEED standards in construction. That means that LEEDs rates the environmental uh, capacity in certain ways, demand that your city institute LEED standards for itself and for new construction. Demand rooftop solar be a part of every home. You know, well, the rebates may or may not be available next year, but if you put in solar and you buy it, you get a $7,500 tax credit, not a rebate, a credit. If you owe 7,500, that wipes out what you owe to the IRS. In the state of California, you get an additional $2,500. And that's not a tax credit, that's a cash payment. So 7,500 plus 2,500, is that $10,000? I don't know, 9,500, whatever. You're going to spit and not take that? Man, if you're a homeowner and you owe federal taxes, that's the way to go. That reduces the cost of your solar by $10,000. And if you put in a solar array, including a couple of high capacity batteries so you'll have electricity at night when it's dark, that'll run you 30, 35, maybe a little less. And they're going to take 10 grand off. Think, you buy that outright for $20,000, don't get involved in an interest plan, come up with 20 grand, what you would pay to re-landscape your house or buy a used car, you're going to have virtually free electricity. What's your electric bill now? 100, 200, $300 a month? It'll be down like my neighbor, $7 a month. Wow, $7 a month. Look into solar. The best deal is buying it outright. Next, there are solar leases, where you give it back essentially to the solar provider. Not near as good a deal, but it will level out your electric bill to a certain extent. Another thing you can do is simply conserve. Look at your electric bill now. See what your average use is, and then go on the website of your electrical provider and see how you can save with other plans. You don't have to pay the big plan all the time. If you own an electric vehicle in Southern California, SCE offers a special time of use program. You can cut back your electrical use between either 4 and 9 or 5 and 9 in the evenings. Don't use then because that's the highest price because there's the most demand. When people come home, they want to cook and turn on the lights. And most activities are happening. But after 9 o'clock, 9 p.m., all night long, the rates are down. They go slightly up in the morning. And then all day long until 4 or 5 p.m., your rate is low. Plan to use your electricity when the rate is low. You can bring your bill down now. You don't have to do another thing except that. But what else can you do on your level that's absolutely beneficial to you. I've told you to get that EV, but you can recycle, reuse, and just plan. Recycle those bottles and cans. It's not as good a deal as it used to be. The prices are way down. Please don't try to recycle somebody else's copper wiring, you thieves out there. I don't think any thieves are listening to this show. But you got scrap metal around the house, sell it. I mean, aluminum cans are worth a bundle. Did you ever see the Seinfeld show where they take the cans to another state and try to make more money? You can't get away with that anymore because they're marked California. But, they made a funny show, and in theory it was pretty good. But recycling. Don't throw out those aluminum cans after you drank your beer or your soda. Recycle. All you got to do is throw them in a plastic bag, and every 6 months or year, you haul them down to the recycler. You sort them out. They weigh it. You get 40, $50. Hey, night, a night of bowling, a night out with the kids, a little fun. It's worth it. I don't see any of us throwing nickels and dimes and quarters in the trash, but you'll throw aluminum cans and plastic bottles. Those are cash. Don't do it. I don't think you're doing it now intentionally, but maybe some of us don't know. So let's keep those things. Here's the thing. I have I have so many t-shirts I've amassed in my life. I don't have room for any more. I have drawers stuffed with. I vow to wear a different t-shirt every day just because I can. And I've also vowed I'm not going to buy another t-shirt until I wear out an existing one. Why? Because they're made of textiles, which cost water. Most of our textiles now are coming from offshore. Look in the back of your collar now. Where's that clothing made? China, Vietnam, Cambodia, hell, in Mexico. Textiles probably not being made in the United States. We're buying it from overseas, wearing it a couple of times and throwing it away. By the way, when you donate it, it winds up with some kid in Africa wearing an Adidas shirt. Has no idea what Adidas is, but he's got your old shirt. No, it didn't get donated to the poor in America. It got sold off to Africa and other poor nations, which kills their native industry of building native cloth. What a mess. Don't buy the new outfit unless you absolutely don't have one and have to have it. Ladies, do you really have to have that thing that influencer wears on TikTok? I know your dirty little secret, ladies. Some of you buy it, you hide the tag, and you return it. You're gaming the system. No, you're killing yourselves. Because when that gets back to Amazon or whoever you bought it from, they know, but it's not worth the hassle for them to jump you about it and make you pay. Don't buy that cute little outfit that you just got to have. Now, I know, especially with younger people, that you want to be fashionable. You need to fit in to be different. Okay, that's your impulse. But what's your rationality tell you? Come on, kids. I know you want all the latest new stuff. You don't want to go out in rags. Well, some of you do. Actually, you're cutting holes in your trousers. You're going out looking like you're poor, like you can't afford to patch it, but it's brand new and it costs $100. Hey, I buy my Levi's for the usual price and they wear out just fine. I put natural holes in mine. I got Levi's older than some of you. And that's not a plug for Levi. I got some Wranglers on now. Do you really have to have all that stuff that pollutes, that its very production pollutes? Okay, you want to go out and look like Miss Barbie? You want to dress like that all the time? You think that makes you a better person, or are you a better person inside saying, you know what? I'm like Greta Thun, the young woman who won the Nobel Peace Prize while, while a teenager. She wears old, used clothes. Greta, congratulations. If you're listening, I'll give you free advertising. Come on the show and talk about what you've done. You're not a slave to fashion. Thank you, Greta Thun. I wish more people would be like her instead of consumers using over and over. What else can you do before we go? Teach your children. Teach your children well, just like the song. Teach your children well. Teach them not to be consumers. Teach them to use and reuse because they're our future. Teach those kids, please. Come on, you teach your children to look both ways before they cross the street so a car doesn't hit them. You teach them that there's really no ghosts and witches under their bed so they don't have unreasonable fears. We teach all these things in the modern society we need. We teach them not to approach a barking dog with a foaming mouth. But we don't teach them, don't pollute, be wise. Drink water instead of soda. All the things we can teach them. Teach them not to leave the lights on. I know my pop said, we don't have to light up the whole house. Hey, you leave the door open, you're going to warm the whole block. That was quite some time ago. I know we teach our children these things. I know many of us do, but we need to point that towards more, more earth friendly things. We only have one planet. We only have one chance. We only get one life, except maybe eternal life. And what is eternal life? Whether you believe that there's a heaven or not, life is here. I derive more pleasure from this life. I don't know what's going to happen when I die. I don't know if I'm going to get recycled, if my spirit will go back into the great mass, those, but I'm teaching my children no matter what you believe, it's the way you act here on earth that's going to live forever in mankind. To live in the name is nothing to live in mankind. That's what's important. There's so many things that we can do for our planet. I know it's hard to tell people don't travel, don't go out and have that grand vacation or things like that. There's so many people traveling around the country now. All the bikers are coming around South Dakota and going up to getting ready to go to Sturgis. They're coming from all over the country. And for the most part, I mean, they're burning gas. But, you know, these big bikes today don't pollute as much. That's great. There's an electric motorcycle out there. You guys want to ride a burner, man. You want to ride something that's quick, that's got torque, you go try an electric bike. It'll shut down most street bikes that you'll find now. Man, you'll be happy. You won't pollute. It's hard to say don't go on vacation, but when you do, use and reuse, be wise, cut down on the pollution. See America today in your Chevrolet, like Dennis Shore used to sing, for those of you who remember those days. But don't pollute. Chevy makes a couple of real nice electric vehicles. I really would like to see people running them. And I'm a Ford guy. What else could we do? Teach your children well. Teach your children to respect the planet they live on. RESPECT. Find out what it means to me. That's all you got to do, folks. That's all you got to do. I know there's nobody out there that hates his family or her family except people who are insane. Don't act like an insane person. Don't keep doing the same bad thing over and over and expect a different result. That's one of the definitions of insanity. Let's get our act together. We're all Americans. We all have the same goals. We're all human beings being human. It's the myth of fingerprints. I've seen them all, and we are all the same. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you good night, good luck. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to me and being so patient. I'm here for you. You're here for me. We're here for our families, for our future. Thank you. We'll see you next week on the Reformer Radio Show when our topic will be the reintroduction of wolves. Is that a good idea or a bad idea? Our guest literally dances with wolves. Please tune in. Thank you for listening to The Reformer with Alan Bartleman.